All right, man. Quick Detroit Lions video to top off the night. Appreciate everybody for checking in. It's Motor City Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And I seen this article on freepress.com, freep.com to be exact. And the Detroit Lions, for the first time under Bob Quinn's tenure, will not have one joint practice in the 2020 training camp. So let's talk about the NFL sent the memo out saying that there will be no joint practices during preseason to limit exposure of the coronavirus, which at the end of the day, they got to play football games anyway. You know, I understand playing the odds, but they got to line up on, Saturday or Friday. They got to line up against each other anyway. So I guess they're trying to really limit it, across the board from players and coaches and all of that. But, and one thing about the Lions is if one thing ain't working, you got to change it up. And if you're not getting the results training at Allen Park, then maybe you should look at going down to West Virginia and moving training camp. If the joint practices ain't, meaning that you getting ahead of the game when it comes to the season, maybe we don't need to do joint practices, So if one thing ain't working, you can't be scared to switch it up. And especially that's the same thing in football. And a lot of these, changes that the Lions may have may be where they train at, which they open in the state in Michigan in next Monday, I think June 8th. Not everything going to be open. Obviously, the casinos, the gyms, the salon ain't going to be open. But, you got to change some things up. If it's not working at Allen Park, hey, change it to West Virginia. Maybe leaving will help galvanize the troops and get them, working with each other better. If joint practices ain't working, well, let's just work against our team. So, and that's going to have to be some changes from Patricia as well on how you're approaching the game. How you approaching, his social status with his players. How you going to change up his schematics to generate more pressure and have a more effective, defense. Is he going to give his veterans some rest? A lot of these things going to boil down to, changes that Patricia going to have to make. He may have a couple of changes that he have no choice to make, but, at the same time, we'll see what happens. But, not having the Patriots, join the Patriots in practice, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think we played them this year. They totally different this year. But we see we got, in preseason, we play them whatever week it is. But, looking at this situation, I think a lot of teams really, depended on these joint practices to get a gauge. If you practice against your defense and they're not that good and you look good, then the moment of truth going to come week 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to find out you're not that good. That's one thing about teams that don't do joint practices or teams that's successful. If you got a good defense, or a good offense, that's going to prepare and harden the troops up for war. If you scoring or you stopping bums or you scoring on bums, it's going to show in the regular season. So, to kind of get a gauge in doing joint practices, I think it kind of gave Matt Patricia a better evaluation of the players that he probably going to keep or the players he could depend on and not depend on. So the Patriots do it often as well, but, ever since Bob Quinn was here for the last 4 seasons, they did some type of joint practice. So this year is going to be different. I just eventually say they got to play each other anyway. But, with coaches all standing close to each other, trainers and all that, indoors, outdoors, I think the NFL is making, every precautious move, to ensure that the coronavirus don't spread. So it's going to be up to the defense to step up. It's going to be up to the offense to step up and challenge the defense. It's going to have to be some heated rivalry. It's going to have to be some trash talk, taking place. And they got to treat this as a competitive training camp without another team coming to the Motor City or we going to their city. So, the NFL said no joint practices. So it's going to be interesting to see how training camp play out. Those joint practices are the gauge, for the players you can depend on, going to keep or cut. So we'll see. New England at a crossroad as well, too. They got a lot of players over there that they need to know about in training camp. If Stidham ain't that guy, then they got to go out there and find another quarterback. So we will see the way it boils down. But you can check that article out on freepress.com, freep.com. Let me know what you guys think of, Lions not being able to do a joint practice this season due to the coronavirus and the NFL accident. Don't forget to check out our Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Lions Live 101 playlist. Check that out for our live streams. Want to make a donation? Cash App, PayPal in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget, check my other channel, Wild Goodfellas Sports TV, for more sports, music, news, entertainment. That's Goodfellas Sports TV right here on YouTube. And check the podcast out. I got some special things coming there too. Links in the description.